had different young people every week, so this week we're not sure if anyone's going to actually show up. My name's Sarah and I work for Acting on Impulse. I co-direct and I sometimes run drama workshops, and in some of the bigger projects that we do, I might take an acting part in it.
I'm Rachel and I help organise the mini projects with different clients, and also I'm co-director.
We've been coming here to Liberty House. We've already done 2 sessions with the young people here. This is quite a young group.
We weren't sure who was going to turn up because over the past couple of weeks, the workshops, although they've been fantastic, the clients have been different week on week.
We found that the young people, who are very vulnerable, have decided that they don't want to film today, which is totally fine.
A lot of the mini projects is about the process, and if we're lucky, we get an end product of a film.
Deeper into that is that we can turn up, we don't know anyone, it's really exciting. We may have only had a quick look at the script, literally have no ideas who's going to be there, and quite often the guys who are getting involved, the actors, or basically non-actors, these guys haven't done much acting before, they are the best characters. And a lot of the time they just play themselves because they are telling their stories.
This is like, it's one of the bigger rooms, this actually. First came to Liberty, it's probably about 10 years ago now, I think actually 11 years ago. When I first started, young people could actually stay here for up to 2 years, which is not always beneficial. As you can imagine, 16 people living together for that long, after about 6-7 months, people maybe can start getting under each other's feet a little bit. Any young people that become homeless in Salford, they come here for assessment. The support that they'll get here is very much around kind of immediate needs. A lot of it depends on where they've come from. So some will be care leavers, they've come through the care system. Dependent on maybe some of the more emotional issues that they've had. We have an on-site counsellor that's available every week. No 2 days are the same. It's quite tough. It's not always easy working with young people. And particularly sometimes because they can be quite hard to engage because of their additional needs, if it's around mental health or drug use, or they're coming from an offending background. And you can see that they're kind of on a journey, that it's a bit like, I suppose it's like a bird flying the nest, like they're going to start their life. And it's quite nice in some ways that you've maybe just had a little part of that. We've done some workshops with Acting on Impulse over the last few weeks. The reason why we wanted to link in with Acting on Impulse as like a joint project is because we've done a lot of work around the general election coming up. We've got 4 young people that have registered to vote, which I think that could possibly be the first time in our history maybe that's happened. We linked in with Acting on Impulse so that we could just kind of kickstart that. There's been a couple of really, really positive workshops that have taken place where ideas have come about maybe someone's journey through Liberty House, and there was quite a keen interest from a number of people. I think, unfortunately, now that it's got to filming time, there's maybe a little bit of reluctance to actually be on film. Being here and being homeless, it is something that maybe because of their age, I think as well, that they don't necessarily want to publicise that. They don't want to be associated with homelessness. They do have a lot to say. They've got, they've got a lot. They're very bright. Again, I think, people don't always have maybe a positive idea around maybe, like kind of young people in general, I think. But they are, they're really bright, and I think they're very resilient. Some of the barriers that they have in place, they somehow manage to kind of overcome quite a lot of them actually. And it'd be really good to actually show that side of it.
Like all the other places we filmed, they are there for people to have a second chance. And believe me, especially going through the edit process and seeing these stories really in depth and being around it a lot means that you can't help but be proud of what we've been part of and what these guys are doing for themselves.
And it's great to hear them really engage and also talk about how they want to change their lives and turn it around and do something good. That's fantastic to be part of that and to hear that. And it's a real privilege.